Good day, everyone. Welcome to today's lecture on Christian business ethics. Today, we will examine the dynamic landscape of business in the Philippines and explore how Catholic social teaching can guide us in navigating through its challenges and opportunities. The business environment in the Philippines is ever changing, presenting both opportunities and challenges for local and international businesses. In response to various business practices and labor issues, it becomes crucial to anchor our decisions and actions on ethical principles deeply rooted in our faith. By the end of this session, you will be able to discuss the principles of Catholic social teaching for business ethics. We'll identify business practices and labor issues contrary to Christian principles. And lastly, we'll make a SWOT analysis of a potential business endeavor aligned with Catholic teachings for social development. Additionally, we'll be integrating the following values throughout our discussion: compassion, justice, stewardship, and solidarity. Our discussion today is aligned with many targets, with many targets the Sustainable Development Goals have. Kindly look at the screen. Okay. Embarking on the journey of entrepreneurship is an exciting yet challenging endeavor. As senior high school students, you stand at the threshold of a world filled with possibilities, including the opportunity to bring your business ideas to life. In this reflective instruction, you will explore the concept of launching a business, delve into your entrepreneurial aspirations, and uncover the motivations that drive you towards your dream. At this juncture, kindly access the student task guide by scanning the QR code to make this activity possible on your end. There are 5 aspects that you should take into consideration when planning to start a business. First, identify your business idea. Imagine you are about to launch a business. What type of business would it be? What products or services would you offer? Who is your target audience? I hope you are doing your business plan right now. Or if not, you may pause the video and then start drafting your business plan. Okay, let me proceed. Second, explore your dream. Why are you drawn to start that business? What inspired that business plan? Third, uncover your motivations. What motivates you to pursue that business? Is it the desire for financial independence, the passion for solving a problem, or the thrill of innovation? Fourth aspect is evaluate challenges and opportunities. Reflect on the potential challenges you may encounter while launching and running your business. How do you plan to overcome them? Lastly, define your vision and goals. Envision the future of your business. What do you hope to achieve in the short term and long term? Yan. So I hope you already scanned the QR code. Yan. And take a moment to pause this recording and proceed to fulfilling this activity. Let's proceed. In the Philippines, labor conditions pose a significant challenge, marked by issues such as inadequate wages, insufficient workplace safety measures, and precarious job security. The prevalence of contractualization and informal employment further compounds the vulnerability of workers. Consequently, there is an increasing urgency to for sustained comprehensive initiatives aimed at safeguarding workers' rights and fostering sustainable economic progress. Let me give you some examples. These are some principles of Catholic social teachings for business ethics. Now let's explore the principles of Catholic social teachings for business. One is consideration for business as a community. It can be read in Mater et Magistra number 91. Business should prioritize creating a supportive community for all members. It can also be construed as stewardship, no? For example, an agricultural company implements sustainable farming practices to minimize environmental impact and preserve natural resources for future generations. These include practices such as crop rotation, water conservation, and wildlife habitat preservation. Kung ang pinag-uusapan naman natin is community of persons, makikita natin yung idea ng kooperatiba, no? Cooperative, where people are helping each other, no? Sa pag-start up with a business. Another example of the Catholic social teaching on business is the principle of common good as the criterion for the legitimization of business and the market. This can be read in Centesimus Annus number 35. Businesses should contribute to the common good of society, promoting social development and well-being of all, especially the marginalized and vulnerable. Let me give you an example. A manufacturing company may choose to invest in community development projects such as building schools or healthcare facilities in underserved areas where it operates. By contributing to the common good, the company enhances the quality of life for local residents and fosters long-term sustainable development. Okay, another example of a CST on business ethics is the principle of subsidiarity. This can be read in Centesimus Annus number 48. Decisions should be made at the most local level possible, empowering communities and individuals to take responsibility for their own well-being. An example is instead of making all decisions from the corporate headquarters, a multinational corporation empowers its regional offices to address local needs and challenges. Hindi laging top to bottom yung decision making, no? This allows for more tailored solutions and greater community involvement in decision making processes. Another social teaching for business ethics is found in Populorum Progressio, paragraph number 14. The centrality of human development beyond economic development and integral human development. Every person is created in the image of God and possesses inherent dignity. Business practices must respect and uphold this dignity, treating employees, customers, and stakeholders with respect and fairness. Furthermore, businesses should promote solidarity among all members of society, fostering a sense of unity and interconnectedness. Imagine a company that ensures fair wages and safe working conditions for all employees, regardless of their background or position within the organization. This includes providing benefits such as healthcare and parental leave, recognizing the inherent dignity and worth of each employee. What a beautiful workplace to be in. Next is we have to construe business as a noble vocation. This is according to Pope Francis in Laudato Si number 100, paragraph number 129. Business is a noble vocation directed to producing wealth and improving our world. It can be a fruitful source of prosperity for the areas in which it operates, especially if it sees the creation of jobs as an essential part of its service to the common good. Mga nagtitinda ng pandesal. Imagine kung wala yung mga nagtitinda ng pandesal dati, no? At kailangan pa namin magluto at mag-prepare ng maakain namin. For me, that symbol existence, no, of a business that caters us, no, ay noble yon, no, at hindi, although it has something to do with income, it also serves us, no, during the times that we need, no, such kind of aid, no, yung pagkain. Marami pang business diyan na masasabi natin na noble vocation. Imagine na lang natin kung walang uh, funeral services, for example. At wala yung mga tao na involved doon sa embalsamo or farmers perhaps. No, paano kung walang mga farmers? I totally agree that business in general can also be considered a noble vocation. Ladies and gentlemen, these examples illustrate how businesses can integrate the principle of Catholic social teaching into their operations to promote ethical business practices and contribute to the common good. Now, let's discuss business practices and labor issues that may contradict Christian principles. Examples include exploitation of workers, environmental degradation, unethical marketing practices, and disregard for human rights. But here we have enlisted some prominent um, unethical business practices. First is discrimination. The unfair treatment based on age, disability, race, or other factors such as gender, no, is unethical and often illegal. Next is harassment. Verbal abuse or discrimination in the workplace is unacceptable. Another is accounting practices. The unethical accounting, the manipulating financial records for profit misrepresents a company's true health. Issues on health and safety. Ensuring physical and mental well-being for employees is essential. Lalo na kapag yung mga trabaho hazardous. Kailangan may mga benefits, kailangan may mga immediate medical support, kahit man lang no, hindi kahit man lang, no, kailangan meron ditong ang mga facilities na maaaring magamit kung sakaling magkaroon ng mga aksidente, no? While performing the job. Next is abuse of authority. Misusing power to exploit or mistreat staff is unethical. Nepotism and favoritism. Ito, sa Pilipinas, medyo talamak ito, no? Fostering a fair environment promotes employee morale. So, kailangan merong mapanatili natin yung fairness, no, sa ating working environment. Next is issues on privacy, no? The privacy concerns. Balancing monitoring for productivity with respecting employee privacy is crucial. Um, yung gusto mo na may mga iba kasing mga may-ari ng kampanya na halos manghimasok na sa buhay ng tao, no? Just to enforce, no? Job. And lastly, corporate espionage. Corporate espionage includes stealing a company's intellectual property or secretly disseminating client information. So, sa Catholic social teaching, ang pinopromote dito is integrity sa workplace. Protecting sensitive information from theft is vital for business integrity. We listed down 8, but there are many, no, many unethical practices, no, malpractices happening in the workplace. Well, at least let's have this to ponder upon. Okay, so kanina pinagawa kayo ng business plan. I asked you to prepare a business plan. So let's have that as our closing remarks, no, in this lecture. Finally, we'll apply our knowledge to conduct a SWOT analysis. SWOT meaning strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Kindly get your business plan that you made at the start of our discussion and kindly assess its strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, considering how it aligns with Catholic teachings for social development. Please take a look at the table that shows the SWOT analysis framework now being posted now in our screen. No, familiarize the framework, the tables. And take a moment to pause this recording while you do the SWOT analysis. As Lasallians, it is our calling to work in solidarity with people and organizations who share the conviction in denouncing the work and in denouncing and working towards the eradication of unfair practices and social structures that deal with death of the suffering majorities, fostering the participation of the underrepresented and enacting other life-giving interventions to preserve the integrity of God's creation and build a just and compassionate society. We must work to increase awareness of the reality of human suffering and the stewardship role each of us play. As Lasallians, we are asked to bring forth awareness and deep a deeper understanding of social realities and be in solidarity with progressive elements of the larger community to bring forth a society that is in keeping with God's plan. I hope we can be effective on this. And I'm excited to know about your business plan and how you integrate Catholic social teachings and consider these teachings in your business plan. Okay, in conclusion, Christian business ethics offers us a guiding framework rooted in the timeless wisdom of Catholic social teaching. By embracing principles of human dignity, common good, solidarity, and subsidiarity, we can build businesses that not only thrive economically but also contribute to the flourishing of individuals and communities. Casalians, thank you for joining me today, and I look forward to our continued exploration of this important topic, hopefully face to face. Until next time, bye.